going on? RGIJ is back, baby. What up, listeners and viewers? What's up, Mike? How's it going?
You know, like I was just telling you right now before you're trying to. Well, actually,
Let's
we'll
do
continue
it.
that conversation because I think that's really
Before
weird.
we continue it, let me show some love first. One of our episodes, we had one of my good friends. She showed some love and support, watching the episode, subscribing, and she even asked the questions. So me and Mike felt that it was only right that we reciprocated the love to her. So my friend Ingrid, she and I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, childhood friends. We went to elementary, junior high school together. Her apartment building was right across the street from my apartment building. So her family knows my family, vice versa. So we've been staying in touch even until now that we're in our 40s and whatnot. But she had dealt with a lot of adversity in her life. She beat cancer. She dealt with a lot of problems with the medical, taking care of her. I mean, there were moments in her life that she was gonna sort of give up, you know, like her physique was changing because of the medication. I mean, she needed assistance after assistance. She needed a nurse to, you know, take care of her bloods and everything else. And thank God, with the power of God and everything else, you know, her family stuck with her and helped her out, and she overcame and everything else. But there was some courts and trials that came through it and everything else. But she is now operating her sort of business, and it's called Minky Addicts. It's spelled MINKYADDICTS, so Minky Addicts. You can find her at IG. It's just one word together, and you can find her on Facebook as well. And what Minky Addicts is basically mink blankets. Now she also has mink like sweaters. She has stuff for the kids, so like mink hats, you know, mink scarves. Basically a whole ensemble of different type of mink accessories that you could buy and everything. Accessories that you could buy, not accessories. But she does go live on Facebook Live. She does have her minks and everything else out on display for people to go on there. She has numbers of them, so basically you write in what number you want and everything else, and then they'll go through the process of how you pay them, the invoices and all that stuff.
Oh, like HGTV or something like that?
Just like that, but she's on like QVC, things like that, but she's on Facebook Live.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't seen anything on IG yet, but for now she does Facebook Live. She's on live on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern, and then she does another show on Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern. It's her and her husband. They'll go on there and, you know, do their thing, and they got a lot of clientele, which is awesome. But again, like I said, I wanted to show her some love since she was showing love for us and everything else. But let's get back to that conversation we were having about your weight there. Let's do it.
All right. Well, first of all, I mean, to do it on Facebook Live for free, no overhead. You could be in your garage, you could be in your house, and you could set up a shop like that. That's kudos to that. That's pretty smart. I mean, because you don't really need any kind of TV to be your own TV network now with Facebook Live. So
yeah, and
it's pretty
to
dope.
Add on to that, she actually does it in her basement. She has a pretty big size basement.
Smart.
And she has like 2-3 poles on the back, which all the minks hang, and it has the numbers on there. And again, she's the host, so she'll, you know, show love to the people, see who's on there. And she has like a little team, you know, her husband and some other people. They'll be in there and see as people are writing in, hey, I want number 49. You know, they're helping her out, but she goes through each one like, all right, the next on display is number 46. She'll talk about it. You know, she'll do the whole show shebang thing and everything else. So, but let's get to what we were talking about before we started recording. Go ahead.
All right. Before we start recording, so pretty much you and I we just talk, and like even on the phone earlier this week, which I don't know. Let's address that first. So I call Izzy. And the first thing he does is, who is this? Now, can you say it the way you do it? Because your voice is different than mine for sure.
When Mike calls me, I do have him on caller ID. But those who know me from my CRW days in Jersey, and it's funny that we talk about this because on one of my plaques that for my retirement, there's a little statement there that says, because that's what I used to say. So if I picked up the phone, there'll be somebody like, hey, this is Aaron Mendez. I'm looking for Sergeant Divine. I would be like, who is this? Identify yourself when you're calling me. So I will always do that to Mike. Go ahead, Mike. Take it over.
It's just that funny part where it's just some old cranky dude doing that. Yeah. But anyway, so pretty much, I started the year off, right? So January, we're in April, right? So started in January at 205 pounds, 205.9. And I woke up this morning at
I like that you woke up this morning. Go ahead.
That's true. I woke up this morning. I wake up in the morning and I get on the scale. I do that every day. So that's my thing. But so the point was, I was sitting there saying, like, yeah, I've talked to my boy Q, the one I do the podcast with, Marcus Cottle. He does all my weight for me and also my food. So I've been able to lose that weight. And so I was talking to him about it. I was like, hey, man, so what do we see for the weight? Like, I enjoy not knowing what I'm doing, just doing it every day. But, like, my clothes, they're just big. And he was just like, well, get used to buying Walmart clothes in a sense because you're going to keep losing weight. And so I was, started laughing. I was telling Izzy, and Izzy's like, I don't know why he thought it was funny in a sense because for some reason, Izzy's like, I think, what, 5'6"? You're like 5'6", 5'7"?
5'9". Thank you very much. And we're going to,
I'm
that's
5'11".
what you claim, because when we were in Honduras, I always recall looking down on you when I talked to you. I never recalled having to look up. There were times, because when you wear the combat boots, that we would look eye to eye. So normally, the typical, I'm not trying to stereotype, but typical Mexicans, they're small statured people. They don't really grow, So if you see somebody like Cain Velasquez, that's like, oh shit, because you're not used to seeing, Mexican men that are tall in height in nature. So when you say you're 5'11", I know that's a lie, but go ahead, keep going.
Well, first of all, I'm half white, so that's the part of me that's tall. So there's that. Two, I don't care because, I'm 5'11".
You say.
I've known people that actually lie about their height. Like, I don't get. I'm 71 inches, so it doesn't bother me. Now, when people ask me, and I'll be like, I'm 71 inches, that's how I know they're not 5'11" or taller. Because if I'm like, hey, I'm 71 inches, you don't, like, how tall are you?
I'm 69 inches.
You see what I'm saying?
Because I'm 5'9",
like, you see what I'm saying? Like,
you
can't. No. What I'm saying is you can't make up what 71 inches is unless you know like, how tall you are,
Absolutely.
right? So that's why I say that. So.
It's funny because I think what you're doing working out, let people know your routine, honestly, because I think it's disgusting. Because there are times that Mike fucking instant messages me on the messenger at like 6:04 a.m. and expects me to fucking turn around and answer, but I'm sleeping because I have to. This doesn't just happen overnight. I need my beauty rest and everything else. So, Mike, explain your routine. Like, what do you do every day? Because it is disgusting. If people listen to this, they get frustrated getting up to go to work. And the fact that you do what you do prior to work is disgusting. But go ahead.
I don't know how you can be. You told me earlier, like, I'm frustrated waking up. I don't know how you get frustrated waking up. I don't know. So, I wake up at 4:59. That's exactly what I do. So I wake up and my phone goes to sleep. I think at like 9 or 9:30, my phone goes to sleep. So if you text me or something like that, I'm not responding until I wake up at 4:59, and probably at 5:02 or 5:03, I would start responding to all my texts in the morning. That's the first thing I do. You don't, go use the restroom and I just start responding to texts. That's just my normal habit. I do Monday through Friday. I do that, man. And then after that, I go and just, I get a protein shake and just chill on the couch and listen to motivational videos while I'm just drinking my protein shake. And then I work out, and I'm just doing that until 7. So I work out I just chill. I love to chill out. So around 6 o'clock, I'm in the gym and in my garage. So I'm in my garage working out, and, I'll talk. And every so often, Izzy responds. And then it's like, what are you doing awake? And it's like, why are you responding? But anyways.
And I, but I don't respond till way later on. There are times, don't get me wrong, that I can't, like, I'll pass out around 2 in the morning, and then for some fucking reason, I wake up like at 7. I don't know why. And I'm like you. I'll look at my phone just to see who emailed me, what text or anything, because I made sure I had to learn, put your fucking phone on either vibrate or silent. I do wear my Samsung watch. So if anybody does call, it only takes just calls or messages, text messages. Everything else it doesn't take. So for me, those are like the important, because I also get my security camera notifications as well in case something's happening. So that's why I always put my phone on vibrate silent, because I wear my watch. So if anything pops off, my watch would alert me. But for the most part, I'm just like, it could wait. You're not alone in this, though. There are other people. Yeah. I think I mentioned this to you before, because Mike all of a sudden is now calling me during lunchtime. And don't get me wrong, I love talking to Mike. We do the podcast together. I love, having conversations with him. But I'm slowly figuring out that Israel is becoming that friend to where people are calling me when they're going to work. People are calling me when they're driving home from work. People are calling me from their lunchtime. Is it because they think that Israel has no life? Is it because Israel doesn't work? So they're like, if there is one person that we could think of to call right now, because apparently everybody else in the world is working that we know of, but who's the one person that is not working? Israel. So and you know what? I answer the call. I always answer the call, and I'll talk to you. But again, I'll be like, who is this? Identify yourself when you call me, because what? But then again, there are times that I am doing my paper for school that I got to be like, man, I got to go. I'll give you some time, but then I got to go. This is how I'm committed today to this podcast, because since this, I don't know if you noticed it, since we started this shit, I got this thing right here, right stuck in my tooth, and I keep trying to fucking take it out. It's not coming out. I want to get up and go to the restroom and fucking take it out, but I'm not. I'm going to stay on this. And those who fucking see us on YouTube are going to see me fucking keep messing with this thing, because we had tacos today. It was Taco Sunday. So we had some tacos Sunday, and now I got shit stuck all in my fucking teeth, but I'm still committed to talk to everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, now I want to call you during lunch. That's the only reason why I want to call now, just to fuck with you a little bit more. But the reason why I called is like, so I do multiple things at one time, and that lunchtime is the only time I'm actually like, oh, well, I actually need to eat. So I stop what I'm doing. And then I'm like, oh, I need to talk to Izzy. And so I'm calling you right afterwards. So I'm literally just like, it's kind of like scheduled for me. Like, okay, cool. We'll take care of this really quick. This stuff can go on. Okay. Hey, I got like, a couple minutes left on my lunch, which I give myself up my own lunchtime. I don't really kind of like, I can do whatever I want, but I schedule a lunch. And I'm okay, let me take care of these other things. Okay, cool. I need to talk to Izzy about the podcast really quick. When you talk about maybe some guests or, whatever we got going on. And so, but now that I know that you have this little button where if somebody calls you because it's lunchtime or something like that, instead of being like, oh, they're thinking about me, or hey, they actually have some time, so they're trying to put me into their schedule, instead of like sleeping or doing something else, they decided to talk to me. They want to communicate with me. You get upset. You get like that kind of like, you're becoming that old, bitter old man.
I don't get upset. I don't get upset, because never once that I've answered the call to be like, why are you calling me? I'm getting upset. Do not call me. Never. I give you a hard time.
You have said, why are you calling me?
I give you guys a hard time.
Why are you calling me?
But I do that out of just jokingly. I love when you guys call me. So
it's like the first 5 minutes I call you, the next thing I'm like, okay, I guess obviously people are calling you during like morning, lunch, and afternoon, and that's kind of, you've noticed it.
I've become that guy. Apparently I need to go get a fucking job now, so that way I could be like, yo, because I can't give that excuse. I can't be like, hey Mike, I can't talk right now because I'm at work. I can't do that. That's I gotta throw that away. So I gotta be like, okay, what can I come up with? Nothing. I'm at home. I'm doing just school online. That's what I'm doing. So of course it's like, oh fuck it, he's only got his work. Yeah. But
well, you should get a job.
It will.
That's actually like a support at 24 hours at home, so you can be like, I'm actually working 24 hours. You're
absolutely right. I'll take that into consideration. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention something. Excuse me. I do want to mention this. There is something dynamic that happened between you and I don't know if you realized it, but I think it's an important message that us probably need to get across, because you and I had a conversation, which it didn't throw me off, but it was like, this is good. I saw it as a positive thing, even though I felt like you saw it as a negative aspect from it. Do you remember what it was when you asked me about the volunteer? Okay.
Yeah.
So
you're talking about that one?
I'll say this. So Mike messaged me, because we were talking about the podcast, and Mike messaged me asking that he wanted to talk to me for some, have a chat with me regarding volunteering for veteran organization. And then I didn't answer Mike right away, but then Mike, you came back with what?
I just kind of sitting there saying, hey, if I'm pushing you. Well, actually, you did come back. You said, like, hey, I get up in the morning, I'm getting frustrated. I get frustrated waking up early in the morning. And then I was like, haha. And you're like, I'm just keeping it 100. Like, okay. All right. And then I came back and was like, hey, I'm not trying to push you. I kind of like, I apologize if I'm pushing you, if I'm pushing you too far and stuff like that. And I'll tell you the reason why, if you want to go afterwards, or after you say what you got to say. The reason why.
No, go ahead. Say why you did that.
Yeah, the reason why is, so right now, okay, like I said, I'm doing multiple things. So, after after I work out, I take my daughter to school. After I do that, I come eat breakfast, and then I trade for 30 minutes doing options trading. And then I start my regular job. And then I'm doing something else. And then I'm doing, I'm creating an online boutique store, which we got that coming out pretty soon. Or by the time this airs, it'll be live. So Oki Lone Star will be live at this time when this podcast is shown. And so I'm doing multiple things, right? But having to do this, me and my wife have been doing this together. So we've done this show, we've done this boutique online together. So we've created it, we started it, doing all those things. I look at her, and I do this a lot, and this is why I've kind of sitting there and say, hey, I'm sorry, because I look at people as, and I've told her, her and I had a conversation because I was telling her about like kind of, you and I were talking, and we had a conversation right afterwards. But I was like, I look at like you, I look at my wife, it's like, man, that's another version of me. If I can get someone to be like me, then we can get more done, right? Because I'm doing so much. And what I do is I push people the way I push myself, which is push, go, go, right? That's just my mentality. And I'm learning dealing with my wife, because my wife's like, hey, look, I'm not you. I can't be doing that. And I know you're not me, nor do you want to be like me. And for me, it's that growth of knowing like, hey man, not everybody wants to be busy nonstop. Not everybody enjoys working 24/7. Not everyone enjoys, doing this or doing that and stuff like that. I enjoy it. I have a skill set that allows me to be this kind of person and this mentality and stuff like that. But it doesn't mean it works for everyone else, nor does it. And it's not always beneficial for everybody. But also too, I don't want to I piss people off, which is mainly I piss off my wife a lot, because she's like, hey, I need you to chill the fuck out. Like I'm not you. I don't want to go as fast as you, or I don't want to do these things like you do. That's not my mentality. And so you and I have a friendship, and it's like, hey, I need to make sure that I don't piss off people that are closest to me, because I'm trying to hold them to my standard when they're not me.
So here's my public service announcement to that. This is for all the listeners and viewers. If you do not have friends, if you're not surrounding yourself with friends that are willing to push you, you need to reevaluate your friends. Because I'll be honest with you, for me, I would never want you to stop pushing me. Because if I have friends that are just complacent and just want to do mediocre and just do average, then you're not really helping anybody. If I'm not giving you the support and love that you need to keep pushing yourself to do the 10 things that you're doing, then I'm sort of not being a good friend to you. If I'm holding you back to just say, dude, why you do so much? Just stay with me. Stay right here sitting next to me. That's a disservice to you. Just like how it's a disservice to me if you don't tell me, man, what are you going to do after school? Why don't you go for your doctorates? Or why don't you do this? Why you don't go work? The day that I ever tell you don't push me, there's something really wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to look in the mirror and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on, Israel? I don't mind it. Yeah. And that's why, like, when you send me that text, I was like, oh, shit, I hope he's not taking it that way. Because what I did write to you, I was just trying to reveal to you that, hey, it's a great idea, but just me personally, I won't be able to do it because I can't make the time to do it. It wasn't to be like, yo, why the fuck you telling me to do shit that you do? It was nothing to that. So when I saw your message, I was like, but this is a valuable moment, because, again, if you're not surrounding yourself with friends that are willing to give you the nudge, willing to be like, dude, go for it, be those motivation, be that inspiration, everything else, then you need to relook at your friends that you're being with. Because if you're doing successful, and I know this is your character, you like to reciprocate to make sure everybody else that you know that are close to you are successful as well. You know what I'm saying? And I told you before, my high is when I see that how well my friends are doing. And if I could be able to push them to further succeed in life, then, I'm succeeding with them as well. Because the value in it all is that they're being successful and they recognize to say, hey, Israel, thanks for the nudge, thanks for the push and everything else. Now I am successful. It doesn't need to be money. It doesn't need to be the fame, the status, or anything like that. But just the fact that I gave you the push to be able to push yourself harder to get to where you need to get to, then that's me being a friend. That's me being a brother. That's me being an uncle. That's me being whatever. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. By you doing that for me, I will never frown to that. And I don't think friends at all, even siblings, even husband and wife, should ever look at that as a wrong thing. Now, there was only one Mike that I wanted to be like, and that was Michael Jordan. I would never want to be like you, Mike. but I can understand your wife's point of view because, you know, we're all built differently. You know, your gears are going at a certain miles per hour that is different from everybody else's. But at the same token, my mindset and your mindset will be the same because we feel, and, you know, we partly have that in the military as well, because you have to be a team player. You know, our structure was pushed to the very end. You know, even if we were in the trenches, we're making sure that we're looking out for one another. You know, if you're going up for promotion, we're there to be like, come on, study. You know, hit the books. You know, we'll give you time at work to study and everything. I don't know how many times my leadership gave me time to sit in the back and study for my promotion. How many times I gave my troops time to go sit in the back and study because, you know, that's in our character. That's us wanting to see them be successful because we want to be part of that success with them. Look at us that we now just started the podcast and we pushed ourselves to be like, hey, let's introduce more people. Let's change it up a little bit. And now look what we're doing for them that are coming on to help them be able to push them to grow and get back into do what they're doing. Look at Marcus. Enough said. That thing is dropping episodes left and right. Good content, good quality stuff, good tips, good advice. Heather and Heidi are coming back with more frequent, you know, skits and everything else, good content. And if we are able to play a role in that to where we push them to say, hey, it's been a while, let's get back on the horse and let's start doing it again, then we did good. You know what I'm saying? I would never look at you to be like, dude, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Dude, why you keep bringing this up? Or dude, why you keep doing that? Because I learned, just like how the IPE we talked about, you know, the different types of stocks, even when Nick was on, you know, the whole crypto mining and everything, people don't get to see or hear that all the time. So that's why if you surround yourself with people that are just going to be complacent, I don't think we would have never had Nick on. I don't think Marcus would have been on. I don't think Heather and Heidi would have been on because you and I would just be like, yeah, we're comfortable here. Let's just stay slow pace and let's just, you know, let the world revolve around us and do their success and everything else and we'll just be okay. No, it's not like that. But that's the way I saw it. But again, that's the message that I took from it because I was like, this is good. Because not many friends look at them, other people around them in that aspect. They just look at them sometimes as you're my drinking buddy. You're my go-to guy when I'm fucking bored at home and want to do something. I'll call you. You're the dude that I could be like, hey, lend me this, lend me that. Can I borrow this? Can I borrow that? But not once do you hear that these friends look at each other to be like, hey, let me motivate you to fucking go further. Let me push you to go fucking do what you need to do and everything else. It's very rare that you get that. And that's why I'm glad that I'm blessed that I surround myself with people that are willing to do that for me. So don't ever look at it negative. Don't ever do that.